That's kind of outrageous. This is like 50 woods worth of wall, and it's keeping them at bay. G'day legends, my name's JaWoodle, and welcome back to the new 3.0 update for 7 Days to Die, where I'm back in my testing world because I think we found something. This happened in one of the last days of the No Crafting series. I was in this place, the Meridian Center, and I thought rather than trying to explain it, I'd just show you. But I came to this wall here, and just on the other side was just a singular zombie. Yeah, and just like this, he gets stuck. Something about these blocks here does something special. It holds the zombies, it breaks their brains. I don't know what they're doing, but he has no... He's trying to jump over it. He can't go under it. He can't go through it. She's trying to go over it. What kind of block are you? You are the wall stud. It's a block. It's in the shapes menu, so that's all good. That whole time, he's just been sitting there doing nothing again. So when I saw this on the playthrough, I was like, this seems like it has some pretty serious potential. So I'm here to find out what it is. I'm really hoping it's going to be yet another good option for like a barricade, like a fighting position. It's a nice big, oh, in fact, hang on a second. Oh, it even gets rid of the, verticals as well, but look at that. What more could you possibly ask for if you're trying to fight, especially with melee? A nice open window. That's perfect. There's no like rungs or anything to clip on like there is with like the scaff ladders or the bars or anything. So that's why I'm excited about it. Hold the zombies still and let me bonk. Speaking of the scaff ladders, actually, I am now in the build 259. I don't know why it would let me get in there earlier, but now we're in the build 259. And rumor has it the scaff ladders have been patched. So while I'm here, I'm going to test that too. Apparently, after I put out that short where you could use scaff ladders at the base of a ladder to stop zombies climbing ladders, very quickly after that, apparently they got patched. So where better to test that than in the house where I actually filmed that short. Gonna grab a zombie, Bozza will do. Nah, we're fine. Nah, we're fine. I was worried. I was scared about it, but now we're all good. We can still use scaff ladders to block ladders. Yeah, no, we're fine. So one of the things I noticed when I was looking at that zombie in the Meridian Center is that he wasn't trying to go around it at all. Like, it's almost like the blocks didn't exist in his mind whatsoever. He wasn't trying to break them, wasn't trying to crawl under them. He was just kind of running towards it, and that was it. Confused why he was getting stuck. Like an ant trying to eat a picnic in not A Bug's Life. What's the other one? Ant Story? They're the same movie in my head. What's it called? Oh, it's just called Ants with a Z. It's with a Z for style. Okay, well, it's just called Ants. Yeah, we're trying to eat the sandwich and there's a cling wrap on it. That's basically what this is to the zombie. So I want to see if I just have like just a wall, nothing on either side, just a wall. Oh, I forgot about their super jumps. I forgot about their cheesy as shit super jumps. All right, never mind. Every time I forget that's a thing. I forgot that they gave the zombies go-go gadget extendo legs to hop over 2-meter tall walls. It's so dumb. I forget that it exists. We'll try that then. We've just gone 3 meters up. We're going to grab another couple of bosses. Just then. Oh. Like, well, you decided to duck that time, but I think it was more because you got pushed underneath it from old mate rather than you decided that you wanted to duck it. I think you just, like, you clipped into the block and you decided to duck because you're not doing it again. You're just trying to do your super jump and it's too tall for you now. What's going to happen? Does that mean the Fun Pimp's going to bring in a 4-meter super jump now? Like, it'll leap over small buildings with a single bound? Okay. I mean, this seems pretty good so far. Why wouldn't you use this? Fair enough. And actually, while I'm standing here, I'm just using the flat surface as a testing ground. But while I'm standing here, there's got a couple of bosses because if anything's going to get patched, it's going to be the facade blocks. And nah, they're still totally fine. Still the most broken block in the game. Although this might be a close second. So if that's the case then, okay, so some of them can get pushed in and then duck and then make their way through the gap, which means probably crawlers and things will be able to get through there. In fact, let's just double check that before we make any assumptions. Let us go straight on through. Yeah, straight through. Straight through easy as a bloody like. Thank you very much for that one. So if I replace the bottom blocks with maybe even the scaff ladders actually, just something to stop them getting through, then maybe that might be a pretty decent way to do it. Still wouldn't mind having a couple of scaffs around to act as vomit protection, but for now, another couple of you. Does that stop you? Yes, it does. What a perfect test. It worked perfectly. Stops you getting through. You're now riding your mate though, and you still can't hop over the top. Just giving him a piggyback ride. What a good lad you are. So if that's the case, then is there any reason not to just run scaff lads across the entire lower side? Because they all stay where they're supposed to be. They get caught up like that. But you just rode your mates back straight through the gap. Okay, so there's still a little bit of an issue there. Little bit of an issue, but if you're just getting them glitched out, then... Oh, for crying out loud, that doesn't really matter. Bloody super jumps. And they thought killing corridors were cheesy as shit. That's ridiculous. Replaced all your knees with springs. I do love it though. I do love that it just seems to not exist for them. Like that guy right there, he could take one little step to the left and then a jump to the right and be able to beat the shit out of me. But instead, he's just ogling through the window. You can make that jump, aren't you? Gonna get up over the top? Go on, buddy. Up you get. There you go. Big jump. Proud of you. So unless they're riding each other's heads, they can't really get over it, which like a simple like zombie bonker at the top would fix. There might be a better way to do this actually. So because those stud blocks take up the far side of their space, I can just chuck on ramp blocks along the top like that. There's still a block on the other side, but I can run you like that. The occasional exception that a couple of them might squeeze through the gap, but that's pretty rare for the most part. If you're actively defending, I can't see how this really gets bad. Let's get a whole bunch more. You got around the outside. Okay, it does happen reasonably regularly then. Because they duck down, then the next one can duck too. Right. Maybe there's a way we can make this better. And actually what's interesting, I didn't notice this at the start, but I just have now. They take swings at these blocks more often now. With the scaffolders there, they're now taking swings. They weren't doing that before. So I think the scaffolders actually weakened it a little bit. This feels very much almost like a return to the JaWoodle coffee days. It feels like I've built myself a little service kiosk, like I'm slinging pies at a local footy. Get another couple of you. Come on. Oh, interesting. So with that's all that is just some railings on the front. It's just clapped onto the front of the studs, and now they've wisened up. Why didn't it do that with the scaff lads, but it did it with the rails? I'll replace these inside blocks with railings instead, rude ones on the outside, and see if that makes a difference, but that's very interesting. There we go. Rails now in line with the service window, with the bonkin window. It's all in line like it was with the scaffolders before. Oh my goodness. It breaks it. It breaks it? Why does it break it? I was thinking maybe it was something to do with like the ladder being a pathable block, like they can walk on the ladders and climb ladders, so they're trying to still walk through it like they were before. So instead of it just being scaff ladders, I'm gonna try a different kind of ladder and to see if that does. Oh my goodness, I've broken it. I've broken it. I've broken it. Our brand new discovery and I've broken it already. It's not quite as foolproof as I might have hoped. That's all right, we'll find it. We'll find a way. Yeah, no, I didn't imagine things. It definitely does work. If we're gonna stop that crawling through, we'd already be sorted. It's just the secondary crawl through when they group up like that. And the hits actually that's slightly problematic. I'm taking a page out of the hatch hallway, which is a very, very old base design, if you remember that. Back from like Alpha 18 fists only. Hatch hallway being the hatches that pop up and block the zombies, but they could crawl over the top. So putting like a thin layer on the roof of that 2-block tall hallway would stop their crawling. So taking a page out of that very old book, I'll just put some poles across the top to hopefully stop that gap for them to crawl through. I would like actually get a whole bunch more out there so I can just get one of you to start trying to crawl. And I mean, well, they're trying to. Oh, and he got through, damn. I was about to say, I think we found a winner, but nah. What about something like this? This is the quarter trim sheet, and it's just that little bit, not by much, but a little bit thicker, because thicker is always better. It's all about that girth. A little bit girthier than the pole I had originally. We've upgraded and made it chunkier. So that'll hopefully just fill that gap a little bit nicer so they can't squeeze through. We're dealing with inches. Get shit on. Get absolutely shit on, Jigglypuff. What you doing? What you doing there, old mate? You're just having a bit of a gander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What's good for me is getting you out of here. So good. Right, so that is that one tiny ½ an inch. A couple of mil is all you need to just close up that gap. So that's the thickness. What was it again? The quarter trim sheets? There you go. By the way, I'm not beating the kiosk allegations, am I? This is absolutely just a kitchen stall. I want to make sure I test to make sure that like other materials work the same way. Then I do have an idea of how to use it. But really quickly, before I crack on, I get a lot of comments asking me how to use like the dev tools and like the ground replacement tools and stuff that I do, like this blue wrench. So very quickly, Nitro Express tutorial. When you're in debug mode, you press Z to mark one corner of your cube and Z again to mark the other corner. You can press Shift and G to drag that down one block. So that's going to go one block below the surface. Hold R, replace all blocks of the same type, and then replace all blocks with M, and then right click, and whatever matches that block type, whether it be like cobblestone or wood or trees or whatever is the same of that particular block gets replaced with M. And that is your super duper Nitro Express tutorial on how to use the block replacement tool. You're welcome. Oh, and I suppose same goes if you have this setting turned on. You can grab by left clicking a concrete cube and you can go do the same thing again, but one block down from them like that. And that'll replace everything. Right click again, that'll replace everything with concrete. And look at that. Now you have a nice flat surface to do all your shenanigans on. This just saves so much time. The reason I did that though, is because I want to see if the other materials work the same way. I've just built a 4-block wall, a 4-block tall high wall. That's a sentence out here out of the concrete version. 4 blocks tall, so they do stack up, they can't jump over the top. And just to see how they're going to react to it. Start from the start though, get the bosses in. You should all still be the same. You got straight through it, which is a problem, but like, I'd love to use this as like the outer wall to a base or something. You can see the zombies that are out there if you're doing your thing. You can shoot them, you can hit them wherever. Reminds me a lot of the old school zombie-proof sloped walls we used to have before those got patched out. I don't have high hopes for them. I'm going to test the wood ones as well. I had no hopes for you. I thought they would slice through that like left out cheese. Although left out cheese goes hard, I suppose. The opposite of that, left out yogurt, I'm not sure. Some sort of dairy product that goes mushy in the sun. But your work is just wood. If you could build just a wooden wall around your base and have them do this the whole time, why wouldn't you? Like the 1 or 2 zombies that do make it in, okay, sure, whatever. But for like just a passive defense to stop them getting too close to realize you're inside, that's the first time you've started swinging this whole time, and now you're back down to the ground again. This has a lot of potential. I'm gonna go back the other way and check this the building frames as well to see if those work, but for now, sometimes they get pushed through and that's okay. But for now, doing our due diligence, the cobblestone works as well. Oh, by the way, if you've got the blue block, you can press backspace to get rid of it. I think I mentioned that before. But either way, this is the thing I'm most excited for. So this is just bang average, bog stock standard building frames. Not upgraded, not touched, not anything. Just normal, not painted concrete or anything. They are just exactly what you think they're gonna be. I mean, you're getting through. One gets through almost every time, but they're not breaking it. And they're getting glitched out the same way as always. So what, for the cost of half a tree, you can build a zombie-proof wall. That is outrageously good. The reason I'm not really concerned about them, like the one getting pushed through here or them, that's because there's a cluster of zombies like pushing them and glitching them through the clipping of the block, like the collision model of the block, which only really happens because I'm standing right here. If this was a wandering horde just passing through, they wouldn't cluster up like that and wouldn't push each other through the grill, so you wouldn't have to worry. That's kind of outrageous. This is like 50 woods worth of wall, and it's keeping them at bay. I might be getting just like a little bit ahead of myself, but the first thing that just came to mind was this joint, the rejects base, the rejects compound, that every time I come here, I talk about wanting to close up the walls and making it so like these walking zombies can't end up inside my compound. And if I can do that just by using these wall studs, that's the wrong way. It should be on the outside like that's the way it was working before. If I can do that with these, for not much cost, it's going to save me so much extra effort. No more like concrete or cobblestone or whatever, trying to like plug up the gaps. Just chuck in those. Just like, dude, is that gonna work? So look, there I am on the inside, looking good. I got a couple of bosses on the outside. Fire a shotgun to see if they, I mean, well, they see that as like a block that doesn't exist. A few of them are gonna punch on the wall. That's okay. The rest are gonna end up here. So if they know that I'm here, they'll get through. That was the same case in the park, but yeah, so look, like with that, when you guys are just wandering, like I'm inside the building, you got pushed and decided to yeah, nah instead. So as long as I'm not drawing attention to myself, they're not going to end up in the compound. So I could plug all these gaps. I could plug all these gaps just like that and they won't get in here. They won't come through unless they know that I'm here. So I can draw attention if I want to, but it just kind of like, it passively protects my house. That's so good. It's kind of like a force field. It's kind of like a force field, but not as intensive of a build, not as resource intensive, but also a little bit more flexible because obviously the force field, that just goes somewhere else, whereas this holds them in place. So if you wanted to clear out the zombies, rather than funneling them around to like a kill box or something, or somewhere with your turrets, whatever, set up your horde base, you can just have this, and then when you come out in the morning, you can wake up, you can have your cup of coffee and go, you know what I'd like to do today? I'd like to murder some zombies, and look at this. There's one already here, ready and waiting for me. So you can have your bloody breakfast. This is good. I mean, honestly, the fact that it works as just frames is ridiculous. It's like, sure, some blocks work really well if they're concrete or not, but that working as just building frames, outrageous, and I love it. I am very curious if there's something in their brains that says that this block doesn't exist. I'm curious if it's going to be pathable. I really don't think it's going to be. I mean, but look at it. It's like just the gut feel look at it tells me I'm not going to be able to walk across that or even try to. But there's weird things happening. There's strange things happening, and I'm going around the twist because have you heard the word about the bird and the spider? Anyway. There's a little throwback for purely the 90s Australian kids. You don't see it. You don't see it. I didn't think so. That was a big ask. Have you ever felt like this? It's gonna be stuck in my head for so long. I'm gonna go live in a bloody lighthouse. I was getting way too ahead of myself. Speaking of birds and the spiders, see, sometimes references will save your life. I didn't test any of like the animals at all, especially the zombie dogs that are already on that lower level. Oh, get fucked. Get actually fucked. Like, yeah, they're having a nibble, but they don't squeeze through. That's actually genuinely taking the piss then. Yes, the crawlers go through, we know that, we knew that already, but the dogs not getting through either is actually bonkers. Genuinely bonkers. Well, do I need to test like the bears and the direwolves and things? Bear, direwolf, sure. Bear breaks shit, bear doesn't go through, and kind of gets stuck. Actually took one swing. Can I just, excuse me, I'm just gonna plug that gap if you don't mind. Oh, he is gonna mind. I can't. Oh, come over here. Come over here just a little bit so I can get to the gap. The direwolf is over, but even so, he took a swing and then he decided to, thank you very much. Then he decided to yeah, nah for the rest of it, and like you're just happily sitting there. Angry bear, angry direwolf, and the fence is just keeping him out. Nothing you can do. Break all your bloody what, doesn't matter. What are you gonna do about that? Again, just building blocks. 2 wood per block, and we have this. This is very Mediterranean. I've gone down the Amalfi Coast and just built myself a nice little roof over my balcony out here. But I want to have a crack at testing the like the pigeons and things. If that's a block that they think they can go through but they can't, the pigeons will try and swoop and they'll just sit there, and it'll be a way easier way to deal with them than it was before with like the scaffolders and stuff. It's always a pain in the neck to test birds because you've got to go around and slap them a little bit, choke the chicken with your bare hands, and make sure that they're aware of where you are because you have to like aggravate them. That should do. Right, that's all 4 of those. I'm now in my little balcony. Oh, they are getting through. Okay, so it's not a good air defense, but that doesn't matter. It's already so good. I've just whipped up a pretty standard horde base, a nice little narrow path with a little window here for all the bonking that you're ever going to want to do. I'm going to run a horde night through this to see how it goes, because the biggest issue is when they pile up and get pushed through. In fact, I'm willing to say that's the only issue. I don't think this is going to stop cop vomit. I'm not going to ask it to stop cop vomit. You need to get out of here. We can actually hit the shots. So you come over, you make the jump, and you just stand there. And you just stand there all day long with a proper gap behind. You got pushed through. You got pushed through by the little nudge, a little tap on the butt, and you went straight through the gap. That's upsetting. That's unfortunate. I need another one to test it. There we go. I got a bike up. Oh, come on, bike. You're supposed to stand there for a little bit longer. Maybe I'll stand right here so Nance doesn't get distracted. Someone give her a little slap, a little tickle, and through she goes. All right, so that's not... Ooh, you did that on your own, Sim, actually. So that's not working quite as well as I might have hoped initially. There is a slight chink in its armor. Not a particularly horrendous one, but a little one. But that, and that alone, should be enough to fix it. The only problem with that is that now they can see that as an obstruction block. They're hitting that, but that's a pretty critical part of that. They're hitting the scaff ladder. They're not hitting the wall stud block at all. So the stud's actually completely immune by looks of things, but they're hitting that one instead. But that does stop the issue of them getting through that gap. If only there was a better way. Hang on. We learned before from these things. The quarter trim sheets. I was only going to use you on the top to stop them crawling, but if I'm trying to stop them crawling, why not do it on both levels like that? If that works, I may be the most evilest of geniuses since there was a pair of the platypus cruising around. Come on over, please. Give this a whirl. I saw... Yeah, there you are, the biker. Come on over. Across you go. No, he sees it as a block. It's going to stop the crawling, which is great, but it's not going to... It takes away the superpower. It makes it visible. You get out of here. That's... Oh, it was almost the dream. It was almost perfect. I'm not sure if this has any potential at all. I'm just trying shit at this point, but put a line of scaff ladders behind the studs. Oh, I mean, it doesn't stop her crawling, but it does stop it being an issue because she gets stuck in it. And then I threw myself off the edge. So I can't actually put those scaff ladders any closer, but I mean, that's okay. What's wrong with this? So if I do manage to get through, they just get trapped in the next little bit. So if I was actually having to deal with it, I could hit you. If I could actually hit anything. Oh, I bloody hate sledgehammers so much. Oh, okay. We've made a stripper centipede. Apparently, that's not ideal. Get rid of you. You go back where you're supposed to be, please. I hate them. I hate sledgies. I'll be honest. I don't think this is a horde night defense. I think it's better. Oh, I was gonna say, did that stop the vomit? The cop vomit? I don't think it did. I think he hit the pillar just there. If you guys want to give this a whirl, please. I mean, they're not getting through. There's no way. Hang on. There's no way it stops cop vomit. We'll try that. I'm right here. You're sitting very pretty. Nah, it doesn't. Nah, it doesn't. That's all good. Yeah, I don't think this works best as like a horde defense like this. I think it works best as a passive fence. If you can do it with frames, building that just around the outskirts, your base far enough away that zombies won't wander too close, I think absolutely the way to do it. I've called one in just to see how she reacts. This is a proper screamer, not one just like spawning through the menus. This is like as if you had a bunch of furnaces here running 24/7 to see what she would do. And yeah, she can't get through. Obviously, if there's 1,000 screamers, one might get pushed through here or there, but just a regular ass screamer trying to make it to the other side like a chicken on a road, can't do shit. Can't do shit. So you can nullify the screamer threat for your base as well. I love this so much. But there you go. We have a new block. Have a new block that we can use to try and like shore up our bases that little bit more. I'm going to be using this everywhere. I'm going to use like the base as stairwells. I'm living up in skyscrapers and stuff. Just any way, like the lobby even, any way I can keep the zombies away from where I don't want them to be. Just a way to passively protect areas is so handy. It's not a god block. It's not as good as some of the other blocks we have for certain applications, but for this, an easy, very cheap, effective force field, a vertical force field with no digging or anything. Not quite as good as the facade blocks, but those are going to get patched eventually anyway. I'm sure these ones will too. But that is very handy for holding a zombie in place and making it a later on problem. Making it Ron's problem down the road. We'll have to come back and try and find some other Ron problems in another episode because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. And most of all, thank you to the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. follow me on whatever. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.